Hello, my name is Liam, and I am babysitting Bulbae's channel today, and I'm bringing you an Imperialdramon deck list with EX01 cards. Fuck, I said again. I don't know why I've been entrusted with today's upload, so please forgive me, I said again. Also, if I cough or sneeze or sniffle, it's because I'm sick. Do I really end every sentence with I've never been so conscious about it. But yes, the new Imperialdramon. Sick card. If only I could show it to you properly. This guy. This list is very aggro, although the new EX01 Imperialdramon is more controlled than aggro in comparison to the previous Imperialdramon that was used. Don't worry, we still use him. He's very good. But I guess we'll just go straight into the list before I say one more time. Yep. Let's go.
Make sure to go to topdecktcg.com and use code Bulbae10 for 10% off your next purchase.
So to start off the deck profile, we play here we go with the Ams again. We play 4 of the Demi V. Sick card. Once per turn, if a Digimon has jamming, draw a card. A lot of your dudes in this deck have jamming. It's as simple as you always play 4 of the best egg, and then as a 5th egg, because you know it's not Rookie Rusher, it's not Security Control, you have to play a 5th egg. Play the Blue Opamon as the 2nd best runner-up of the eggs. For 1, I need to not say. For 2, I need to learn how to do that thing Bulbae does with putting cards here so that everyone can see them. There you go. Yeah. And then with the rookies, we have 4 Vmon. So we'll start with the 4 ofs, I guess. You play these for the inherent effect. When attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, trigger draw 1 card. He's good for early game. Usually it gets to a point where you'll have a lot of cards in hand, and this won't matter. This will only really apply early game. Its main effect is if your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, this Digimon can Digivolve into All Force Featuremon for memory cost of 4, ignoring its evolution requirements. Basically skips up, like the Gyomon and the Gallantmon from the structure deck. This card is quite cool if we played All Force, but you mostly use him for his inherent effect. For our second 4 of, we play 4 of the EX01 Vmon. I love Vmon, so this deck makes me happy. Vmon's inherent effect: when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, gain 1 memory. This one is sick, because when your Imperialdramons Digivolve and unsuspend themselves, you'll be gaining a memory. So just think of your All Force Featuremon's costing 1 less. More Vmons. We have the BT2 Vmon. Once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, trigger draw 1 card. In the old All Force decks, it would be sick because All Force always unsuspended. But this also works in the Imperialdramon list because not only does your Imperialdramon unsuspend himself, some of your Paildramons unsuspend themselves and also trigger to draw 1. So you play 2 of him because these guys are more important. And for our last Vmon, we play 1 Jamming Vmon. The only reason you play Jamming Vmon would be to get off that cool thing where you have a Jamming Vmon and you have Imperialdramon when he's Digivolving, unsuspends all jammers. You unsuspend this guy after swinging and then swing again. So that's why we only play 1. It's cool to bully your opponent going early as well, but we prefer to be gaining resources, memory or drawing cards with our Vmons rather than swinging with them, because the rest of our deck does what this Vmon does. And for the last of our rookies, we have 1 Midoki Betamon. All turns your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects, basically the old Gazimon. So it's quite good into this memory boost format. Look, just remember he's here because it's very shiny and I don't know how to fix it right now in the middle of a recording. Then play 4 of the new X Vmon, not the old X Vmon that used to unsuspend. Then we play the 6 Vmon. He's just chilling with jamming. His inherent effect is when this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name or free in its trait. And you'll notice that all of the Vmons have free and Vmon upwards, Imperialdramon, Paildramon, they all have free in their traits. He gains jamming. So yeah, he gives inherit jamming, which is quite nice. And then we play 3 of the Stingmon as our other level 4. It gives inherit piercing to Imperialdramon or dudes with free in his traits, so level 5s as well, who gain the piercing, which is quite nice. It's a bully tactic, and the fact that it's a green card as well also helps the new Imperialdramon you'll see in a second. We run 3 of the Stingmon. And for the last of our level 4s, we play Quartermon. Quartermon's quite a cool pick for when you brick. easy peasy, fix to hand. Also, when he comes out of security, you can build him up into a new stack. It's quite nice. You can also digivolve him onto your VMons if needs be, if you're stuck. But mostly it's just the fact that he's a security Digimon that can build up into a stack himself. And then we play 4 of the Imperialdramon from the BT tree set. His own effect jamming, and once per turn, if it has the Imperialdramon on top of him, it can unsuspend when attacking. It's quite cool. Swing with himself with jamming, he's safe. Then put the Imperialdramon on top, unsuspend himself, swing with the Imperialdramon. Yeah, you've seen it all before. And we also play 4 of the new Imperialdramon from the EX01 set. Let me have a quick look at the effect. When digivolving, you can unsuspend him. Quite cool because it triggers the Vmon and it triggers the Vmon. Very cool. All the Vmons get the triggers. Inherit then, when this Digimon has Imperialdramon in his name, it can't be blocked. Quite cool against most decks that you would struggle with and having to suspend your opponent's blockers and all that cool stuff. This guy is just an auto win against blockers. Your Imperialdramon is too strong now. Now we have the old Imperialdramon Dragon mode. Quite a cool card. We'll play him at 2. You're familiar with his effect. He is jamming himself. He knows that he has jamming. When digivolving, he unsuspends all Digimon with jamming, so he can unsuspend this little guy, or he can suspend this little guy, or he can unsuspend this guy. It's quite cool. He can also unsuspend himself. You know, it's quite cool that we only play 2 of them because we played 3 of the new Imperialdramon deck. Or Jesus, cards, not deck. Imperialdramon Dragon mode from the EX01 set is absolutely insane. When digivolving, you can unsuspend him to suspend, and then also suspend one of your opponent's dudes. So it's quite insane. Triggers all your dudes, gaining a memory. Basically, like I said earlier, when digivolving into either of your Imperialdramons, they unsuspend themselves, which triggers your gain a memory. After maybe swinging with your jamming dude, you have him under it. You swing with the jamming dude. You digivolve into either of your Imperialdramons. You unsuspend himself, trigger the Vmon, your Imperialdramons basically become 2 costs, which is insane. I know this is silly to say, most people know this by now, but just in case there's any new people to Imperialdramon, this is a 5 to digivolve. Its own effect, sorry I never said, is that you can reduce digivolution by 2 if you evolve them on top of a Imperialdramon. We play only Imperialdramons as they're level 5, so you're always going to have this as a 3 cost. And then with this Vmon, it's basically a 2 cost. It's quite cool. It's just so cheap. Why is this deck so a cool card we put into the deck? All Force Vidramon. I was joking when we said we wouldn't be playing All Force. This card's kind of cool. When digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the opponent's hand. Trash all the digivolution cards underneath. Yeah, yada yada yada. Basically, get rid of a level 4. Let's say a nuisance of a Mechanorimon was in the way, or any of your opponent's memory blockers, like the Madoki Betamon or the Gazimons, you know, just annoying bits and pieces like that. All Force deals with, and the fact that it can go straight up from the Vmon is quite cool. If your opponent's pushing at you, or if it's security control, dropping level 6s, you can put this guy on this guy. Fuck yeah. And when attacking once per turn, if you've 8 or more cards in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Pretty late into the game, you've drawn so much off your inherit effects that you are going to have 8 or more cards in hand. So this is going to be swing as well, on top of, you know, everything else your deck has to do with swinging. Like I said, very aggro, but a little bit of control, you know, because with the Imperialdramon Dragon mode suspending, with this guy killing level 4 or lowers, you know, there's a bit of control. For the last of our Digimon, to be able to swing for game, we play 2 Omnimons. The BT5 Omnimon with the Blitz. Pretty self-explanatory. You can pass turn over to your opponent by putting this on an Imperialdramon, but it's still allowed to unsuspend itself and swing once more. The fact that it unsuspends itself also, if you haven't triggered any of your dudes at this stage, you can trigger them now. If an opponent's effect would delete this Digimon, or return it to the owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by trashing the level 6 card under it. Basically trash the Imperialdramon underneath it, or the All Force Vidramon. You can also put him on top of that to protect him. Quite cool. So cool that I gave him a little bit of a boost by playing a X antibody as well. This came up against one of the matchups. I think it was against Muskets. This was played into the Musket matchup because they were rookie rushing me, and it was very annoying, and I built up my Imperialdramon fast in that matchup because I think I could give it a load of memory to wipe 2 of my smaller stacks with a Musket option card. Started a new stack pretty fast, turned it into Omnimon Blitz to get an extra swing because I was being rushed. I wanted to rush back, and then I realized, you know what? Let's just put an X antibody on top of the Omnimon when it gets back to my turn, and we'll survive a bit. the fact that it deletes Digimon with 15k or less when attacking, it's basically its own attack or less. So if its DP is changed, brought up or brought lower, it'll delete a Digimon of his equal to his DP or lower than when attacking. And during your opponent's turn, he's a Utopia. For any Yu-Gi-Oh players out there, you can detach 2 materials to negate an attack, pretty much. And he's quite cool, very cool. 15k in security checks as well if anyone tries to, you know, kill you. We have 4 of the Davis Best Boy play greens, because when he is played, you get to add a blue or a green Digimon. And we also want to see our pieces. Speaking of wanting to see our pieces, Analog Youth, a very cool card from EX01. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. And then when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this timer. If you do gain a memory, then hatch 1 egg in an empty space. So basically, you play him to search your pieces so you can build your stacks up. But the cool thing is, if you are Imperialdramons or Palealdramons die with security checks or something, I know they have jamming, but what happens if you hit an option card and you have an Analog Youth on the field? Easy peasy. You get to hatch an egg and gain a memory. Start a new stack. Easy peasy. Speaking of wanting to get our pieces, again, blue memory boost helps us build our stacks and it gets back to return. For anyone who doesn't know what this does, basically 3 cost to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck at blue Digimon. Each color has these. Red has 1, purple, you catch my drift. And a main delay, so not the same turn that you activated this, later on, turn after, you can hold it for as long as you want. You can sack it and gain 2 memory. Then from the EX01 set, again we have 3 Ice Wall. I tried to put in 4, I really did, please don't be mad at me, but I couldn't fit 4. All of your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking lose to memory. Everyone's complaining about this. This has already been hit on the ban list, barely being allowed to play with it. It's so unfair, oh my god. But it'll be legal for Nats, for anyone wanting to play multiples at Nats. It's going to be limited to 1 after Nats. But yeah, this card is sick. Gain 2 memory when hitting security as well. Who said that deck was aggro? This is so control. I play Ice Wall. For the last of our option cards, we play 2 Kakaida Spread. You need a bit of removal in this deck. You could also run stuff like Rattlestar, Galactica. But I like Kakaida Spread. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I have the altered. I don't know. This is the deck. I guess this is why she does this. Hold on, let me try and move this. See if you can screenshot it if you need it. Wow, that's terrible. That was really dark. Haha. There you go. Now you can screenshot the list and send it to your friends and you're like, hey, look at this, I want to build this, and they're like, sick. Well, let's go straight into the outro, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording because I'm saying I'm a lot. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Thanks for watching. My link tree will be in the description below because I don't know my names on social media off by heart, and I have a few different ones because names got taken, and you know what it's like. Thanks Bulbae for having me here. It was a pleasure. Hopefully you can take something from this deck and apply it to your own Imperialdramon deck. Maybe you might play it for Nats. Let me know how it goes. Let Bulbae know how it goes down in the comments here, I guess. Make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, bye guys.